Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder, Harwan Banyan Sharal of this camp. Salutations to the sincere Akin, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Car Harab Banyan Sharal, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now today I'll be coming out of a lesson. And quite frankly, it's titled, Don't Give the Lord Your Ass to Kiss. Point blank period. The Lord has called us to do a work. He has chosen us before the very foundations of this earth for us to be in the lot that we're in this day. So thus forth, in that, you should look at that and see that the Most High saw fit to have you to do this work. So you shouldn't return the favor to him by giving him your ass to kiss, by point blank period, not doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. This is a very important job that we have. This is a very important work. This is of the highest importance. Of course, you know that does not take away from your everyday duties that you have to do from time, here and there. But nonetheless, the things of this world should not take precedence over this work. It should not take precedence whether you do a lesson or go out to teach. You got bills, you have family matters, and those things are important, and you must not neglect those. But this work that we do for Yahweh Yahushua is something that you should not neglect either. Because truth be told, when you give the Most High your ass to kiss, he breaks a foot off in it, and you don't want him to break his foot off in your behind. You don't want that. I don't know nobody that was happy that the Lord jacked them up. It was very uncomfortable and it was not good. I'm pretty sure that it would tell you. But nonetheless, again, the title of this lesson is Don't Give the Lord Your Ass to Kiss. Period. Straightforward. That's what it is. We are not in here to half-ass the work of Yahweh Yahushua. We're not in here to be like, oh yeah, that's not what we're here for. We have a specific duty and we must do that duty. This is a very important duty. This is a very important work. There's a righteous recompense and benefit for doing this work. But when you start neglecting and not doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, it starts to show in your walk. It starts to show in your behavior. It starts to show in your mentality. It starts to show spiritually. So again, don't get the Lord your ass to kiss. Meaning, don't neglect this work. He gave you a very beautiful gift. He gave all us a very beautiful gift to do this work. This is a blessing. This is an honor. This is not a burden. This is not a thing of bothersome work. This is a very righteous, beneficial work. But without further ado, let's get right into the scriptures. This is Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 10. It says, Cursed be he who doth the work of the Lord Yahweh deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. So cursed is the man, number one, that does this work deceitfully. Such as your IUICs, your ISUPKs, your GOCCs, your HOIs, and ABCs, and EFGs, and all of them. They do the work deceitfully. They do it for filthy lucre's sake. But cursed be the man who keeps his swords back from blood. Meaning, cursed be the man who don't do this work, who don't tell the truth, who don't preach the way they're supposed to preach, according to how the Heavenly Father has guided them to do these things. We're supposed to do this. This is something we're supposed to do. This is a very profitable work. This is our due service. We're supposed to do this. But cursed is the man who is not doing this, who is keeping the sword back from blood, who is purposely not doing what they're supposed to do. Let's continue. Let's go to Luke chapter 9, verse 62. It says, And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom. Matter of fact, I'm going to start all the way up at the one point. Verse 59 of Luke 62. He says, And he said unto another, so like I'm going to go up even higher. Verse 56. It says, for the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village. So Yahweh Shai, he didn't even come to destroy man's life. He came to save us. He came to give us salvation. He came to give us life, spiritual life. He didn't come to destroy us. He came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. Continue. Verse 57. And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. So as Yahweh Shai and the disciples was going to another place, it was a man in the way. He was like, Lord, I will follow you. Let's continue. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, foxes have holes and birds have the air. The birds of the air, Salakia, have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. So what the Lord was saying is, foxes got a place to go to rest and lay their head. Birds got a place to fly through the air and nest in the trees. But the Son of Man, he didn't have nowhere to lay his head. He didn't have nowhere to go. He was a traveling man, going from place to place. Verse 59, and he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. So when he came to another man, he was like, the Lord was like, follow me. And the man immediately gave him an excuse, hold on, man, I got to go and bury my daddy. I got to go and bury my father. So continue. Verse 60. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahweh. So the Lord said, well, let the dead bury the dead. 2/3 of our people are spiritually dead. So let the dead bury the dead. You know, let them handle that. But you go and teach. You go and do what you're supposed to do. Meaning, never mind the things of this world. Never mind the small, minute matters on an everyday basis. But go and preach the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is what we're supposed to do, regardless of anything else. And sometimes you have to teach. You have to preach to power through something, to power through a death in the family. You may this teaching, doing what we're supposed to do, is beneficial. It's helpful. It keeps us moving forward. But again, verse 60, and Yahweh Shai said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahweh. And that's what we're supposed to do. But nonetheless, you do not neglect the things that you have to do. But there's certain things that's not important. They don't take precedence over this work. You got to do the work. Let's continue. Verse 61. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at my house. So again, you have another, hey, I'll follow you, but first off, let me go and let my people know that I'm leaving. Let me go say goodbye to them. So this is what the Lord said. Verse 62. And he said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. So when you start this work and you put your hands on this plow and then you decide you want to look back into the world because it's something out there in the world that's just so important. Well, no man having put his hands to the plow and look back in the world is fit for the kingdom. No man that put his hand to the plow, start his work, and then throw away his works is fit for the kingdom. Not fit, period. That's why Yahweh Shai said this. It's nothing. Don't put your hands on the plow and then turn around and go back to the world and still think your work's gonna follow you. These are spiritual works. The world is a world of carnality. Spiritual works ain't gonna follow you in the carnal world. They're gonna follow you when you're doing right. So if you put your hands on this plow and you decide, oh, you're gonna go back into the world, well, there's no benefit in the world. And the Lord said you're not fit for the kingdom. So we must do this work. Lord, give us a great opportunity. You don't turn around and give me ass to kiss by neglecting what he set us up to do. Let's continue. Matthew chapter 13. True enough, sometimes you may have some errands you need to run. And it may get in the way. You may have it on your mind or your job to do a lesson. You may have it written in everything. Sometimes stuff do get in the way, but not all the time. Just because there's some stuff to do, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. That don't neglect you doing what you're supposed to do. That don't take precedence over this. Some of that stuff you can say to hell with this. I'm doing the lesson. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. This is for everybody. Period. We are all given a responsibility. Get in gear. Do what you're supposed to do. Let's continue. Matthew 13, I'm going to start at verse 3. Chapter 13, verse 3. It says, and he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And he sowed some seeds. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. So there are times in these seeds that fall by the wayside of somebody that comes, you'll tell them about the truth, and it don't resonate with them. It don't hit and sink in, and all the other little distractions come and pluck it up and pick it up, and then it's gone. You know, with all the things that are swirling around people in this day and age, in this life we living in this hell. But again, and he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Verse 5, some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of the earth. So some seeds fell by stony ground, meaning like people hear this word and they're like, oh yeah, and they take it and they fall by stony ground. They sprang up real quick. They glad. They sprang up real fast, and next thing you know, when trials and tribulations come, guess what happens? Because they have no deepness in the truth, they wither away and they die, meaning they fall away from the truth. They walk away. Verse 6, and when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had not root, they withered away. So simple. You have some people that come in this thing and they find out the truth. It's a joy to them. They like it, but they don't have no deepness of earth. And as soon as a testing or a trying time comes, what happens? They wither away, meaning they fall away from the truth. They turn their back on Yahweh Yahushua. Continuing, verse 7, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. So, and then some seeds fell among thorns. The thorns sprung up and choked them. What can you say about that? These supposed tasks that you think are so important, that's more important than doing the work, meaning the things of this world. But let's continue. Verse 8, it says, but other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. So other seeds fell upon good ground. So this word fell upon the true men of the Lord, and it brought forth seed. It took root, and it grew up, and it bare fruit. Some 60, some 30, some 100, some 60, and some 30-fold. So in order for that to happen, the Spirit got to be dealing with you, for one. And for two, the Lord got to have already set this up for you to be in that light. This is a gift. The Lord gave us a gift, a for real gift. This is a gift to do this work. This is a blessing to do this work. This is not something you can just slap on the back burner and be like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. It don't work like that. It don't. Because eventually you keep doing that, the Lord will take His Spirit away from you. He'll take the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding away from you. Then guess what? You don't have anything. You're back in the world. What's in the world? Darkness, spiritual death, eventually physical death. What are you going to get from that? What are you going to get from carnality? What's death? There's nothing to go back to. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. Who hath ears, let him hear. So like, who hath ears to hear, let him hear. So if you got ears to hear this, hear the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Hear the fact that He's telling you to do what you're supposed to do. Hear that. Because if you turn a deaf ear, you're going to get left here. That's not just a cool or a wise or a rhyming saying. That's the truth. You turn a deaf ear, you get left ear. Period. You don't get to put your hands on the plow and take your hands off the plow and put your hands on the plow when you want to. Put your hands on the plow and keep your hands on the plow. Let's continue. I'm going to jump down to verse 12 now. It says, for whosoever had, Salaki, I'm going to start up. Verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said, it is unto them, because it is given unto you to know the kingdom of the, to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it is not given. So it is given unto us to know the mysteries. This is given unto us as a gift to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. It is given to us. That's why we're able to bring forth this word. It's not given to 2/3 of our people. But just like something that's given to you, it can also be taken away. Most High can yank this right from you for neglecting his duties. He can take this from you, giving him your ass to kiss. Verse 12. It says, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. So to whosoever have this truth, more is going to be given unto him, and he's going to have that more abundantly. But for those who don't have the truth, so for those who decide they want to neglect or give the Lord their ass to kiss, well, that little bit that the Lord did give, he going to take that away from you. He going to take it away. So again, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Lord can take his spirit away from you. He can take the little bit of understanding that he has given you away, neglecting his duties, not doing what you're supposed to do. That should be a scary thing unto you. Because if you look back, where did we come from? We came out of the world. What's there? Verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So the Lord spoke to the multitude in parables, because though they see, they don't see what the Lord is talking about. Though they heard what he's saying, they don't hear what he's saying. They don't understand it. I'm going to jump down to verse 18 just to give you the parable of the sower, the seed parable of the sower. Verse 18, it says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. So there you go. Soon as one of no understanding, when you tell them about this truth and they hear it, they don't have no understanding. So guess what? The wicked one, Satan, the devil, distractions come and they pluck that seed up that was sown. This was he that received seed by the wayside. Verse 20. But he that received seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. So the same one that the stony ground, that fell upon stony ground, that was that same one that was glad to hear the word. He received it with joy. But continue. But again, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet he hath no root in himself, but dureth for a little while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. So that same one that received seed on stony ground is the one that enjoyed, was glad, and rejoiced to hear the word. But right when the Lord started testing and started seeing where you stand at, they withered away. They didn't endure. Soon as tribulation comes and persecution arises, by and by they are offended in Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. And guess what? They take their hands off the plow. They get it, Lord, they behind the kiss. And guess what happens? They fall back into the world to what? To be judged for being disobedient and hard-headed. verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. So the same one that receives seed in the thorny ground is the same one that's caught up in the cares of this world, and it chokes him, and it becomes unfruitful, and he dies. You become useless for Yahweh Shai, and they move you out of the way. You don't never ever want to be moved out of the way. You want to abound in Yahweh Shai. That's what you want to do. That's what you should be working forward to. But let's continue. Let's go to Jeremiah. Chapter 1. Verse 5. Because we were called to do this work. We were not called to be slack in doing what the Most High want us to do. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. Behold, I have formed thee in the belly. Salakia, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So before the Lord even formed us in the belly, he knew who we was. He knew what we was going to be. He knew what lot we were going to come back in. And before we came as forth out of the womb, before we was even birthed into the world, the Lord had already sanctified us and ordained us to be a prophet unto the nations, the nation of Yasharallah, and also all around the four corners of the earth, because the Lord scattered the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans all around the four corners of the earth. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites. He scattered us everywhere. So we've been ordained by the Most High to even do this work. We were not ordained to slack off. We were not ordained to give the Lord our ass to kiss. Because best believe, when you start neglecting the work, you start neglecting Yahweh Shai, something gonna happen. And you're not gonna like it. Your best bet is to get in gear and do what you're supposed to do, period.